Yesterday evening, my spouse and I found ourselves in a minor disagreement. She was eager to join a gathering her friends had organized over several weeks. I felt uneasy about her attending, not out of a desire to dictate her choices, but because a nagging instinct warned me against it. I expressed my concerns clearly, yet she dismissed them, accusing me of being overly cautious. Ultimately, she got ready and left the house with little further discussion. Alone in the living room, I watched the clock's hands move slowly, each tick amplifying my unease. Doubts swirled in my mind, and I couldn't shake the question of what was so compelling about this event that she'd overlook my apprehensions. I refrained from reaching out via text or call, choosing instead to sit in heavy silence, my disappointment settling like a fog around me. When she returned near 2 a.m., her carefree demeanor and the scent of perfume mingled with alcohol filled the space. Her laughter, carried from the car ride with her friends, lingered in the air. I glanced at her briefly but held my tongue. She noticed my quietness yet chose to head to bed without addressing it. Sleep eluded me that night as my thoughts churned relentlessly. I felt sidelined, disregarded, and unappreciated. If she could so easily dismiss my worries, what did that reveal about the state of our partnership? Still, I opted not to confront her, letting my silence speak instead. Morning arrived, and I anticipated she'd act as though nothing had occurred. To my surprise, she was awake early, preparing breakfast in the kitchen. I sat at the table, observing her movements in silence. She appeared weary, perhaps even remorseful. When she finally joined me, she avoided my gaze. For the first time, I sensed uncertainty in her demeanor. Speaking in a hushed tone, she admitted she'd been thoughtless the previous night. She confessed that while the party had seemed vital at the time, disregarding my feelings was a mistake. Her voice trembled as she went on, explaining how, despite being surrounded by friends, laughter, and music, she felt hollow. The guilt of knowing she'd wounded me lingered through the night, impossible to ignore. I listened without interrupting, giving her space to express herself. Her apology extended beyond attending the party. She regretted making me feel unheard in our relationship. Her sincerity was evident, a rare moment of vulnerability I hadn't seen in some time. Yet, I didn't immediately absolve her. I explained that actions carried more weight than words. Respect in our marriage required valuing each other's perspectives, even in disagreement. Tears welled in her eyes as she nodded, promising to prioritize our partnership over her own impulses. In that moment, I felt she grasped the true meaning behind my silence. Not anger, but deep disappointment. As we shared breakfast, the strain between us began to ease. It wasn't a complete resolution, but it marked progress. My wife recognized that trust and respect couldn't be sacrificed for fleeting enjoyment. In the days that followed, her efforts were noticeable. She began involving me in her decisions, seeking my input, and ensuring we navigated choices as a team. It was never about control, but about finding equilibrium and mutual regard. Reflecting on that night, it could have driven a wedge between us. Instead, it became a catalyst for improved communication. My silence had conveyed more than any argument could. The following morning, I was surprised to see her truly comprehend what our marriage demanded: mutual respect. Rather than escalating into conflict, we chose open dialogue. She acknowledged her error in dismissing my concerns, and shared how empty the party felt without my support. Her apology rang true, and for the first time, I sensed she understood that marriage isn't about triumphing in disputes but about cherishing each other's emotions. I accepted her apology but emphasized that respect must always take precedence. She vowed to be more mindful, and I promised to place greater trust in her. In that shared moment, our silence transformed into mutual understanding, and the distance from the previous night dissolved. We chose reconciliation over resentment, strengthening our connection more than ever before.